YouTube, Dawson Rider here with a review of LVUR Series 05 Gekitotsu Robots. So, interestingly, this gimmick line is essentially adding a second part to it because the reason it's interesting, I guess, was what I was trying to say, is that in my reviews for this line, if you've been watching them, I've been talking about how the base idea for this gimmick line is kind of fun, but the fact that you need to buy this guy's figure to enjoy that component of the gimmick for pretty much anything is kind of crappy. But we now have a second part of it, which is these little robot companions, which are the level 3s, which, as you can see on their own, is just a little robot dude that becomes an armor for the riders, which is kind of neat. And it's essentially adding an almost Gaim-esque, I guess you could say, component to the gimmick. So there might be a little bit of hope for the line yet in some ways. Just to note, in case there's any confusion, he does not come with this. When you buy this, you just get the box and him. And this little replacement driver, which we'll get into. But yeah, I just brought him in because we're going to need him, and he just looked better. But anyway, so he's got a small little box here, just a little picture of him, shows the form, a little in-show shot of the form, shows right there how it works, and then advertises more how it works and the rest of the line so far, which is mainly Braves, which is about to come out. But yeah, that's about it. But for what you get is you have this little tiny, very adorable little, little robot, which I quite like. I think it's really charming, and I think gives you a reason to buy these if you are a fan of these little dudes. Like, for the level 1 and level 2s, you kind of don't get to have both versions of it, but I guess you don't really get to have level 3's transformation and this guy on its own. But the nice thing is that if you don't use this for an armor, you have a little robot guy to have on display, and it's just kind of neat, and I like that, and it just kind of gives you something. He can't really do much. He can move his feet a little bit, which is mainly part of his transformation, and he can move his arms a little bit, and he can be his adorable robot. As I said, it does come with this little extra gamer driver, which is the only difference about it color-wise is that it's clear as opposed to solid, and there's the extra Gashat slot in there to show that he's gone level 3, but that's really about it. But okay, so now we are going to transform him together with XA to do his level 3 form, which is very simple stuff. We're just going to pull the arms off here, and you don't need to pull his foot off. That's actually, you want his feet on. That's important. But so yeah, just pull the arms off, and you'll set it aside, and then just kind of fold this out here, and it's going to sort of snap on the top of him. And you'll see right here there's this little headpiece, and you're going to want to fold that out. Let's get XA'd in more of a straight up standing position. And you're just going to slide it over. There's two little slats here on his shoulders that correspond to here. And you're going to want to slide it over and make sure it's secure. It can kind of be a pain to keep secure at times. Alright, and then just fold these out here so they'll become his shoulder pads. And then you're going to want to face them forward and then have that lined up there. And then this might be when it actually becomes unlatched, but snaps around his waist. There's two little tiny holes in there that are actually going to snap on, so this kind of secures it, like even more so. And then just keep finagling it so it's all snapped in and secured everywhere. Let me get it on the right track. There we go. And then for the last part, you're actually going to, oops, he's a bit top heavy for sure. Way top heavy. Just stand for just a second. I just need a second. So you're actually going to clamp these around his arm here. They're not for both of them, obviously. If you've seen the show, you know that. But you're going to clamp them around, creating a sort of armor piece. It reminds me of like older Power Rangers toys or something where you did this. I don't know. I'm getting a flashback of something. It is actually going to be easier if we lie him down. But I just remember doing stuff like this for various armors. And it'll secure on there. It may jingle around every now and then, but once you generally snap it in, it's not going to fall off or anything like that. And there you have it, XA'd level 3 right there. So let's go ahead and we'll sort of get him so he can stand and then zoom in a bit because we're kind of far out here. So yeah, that's that. But anyway, I definitely have mixed feelings about the way it looks. I think overall it's pretty decent for what it has to do, but it definitely has problems, that being one of them. It's very top heavy, so if you're putting it on display, you might want to be careful about, you know, where you situate him. Don't put him in a position where he can domino other people. And the fact that this just essentially rests up against his face is kind of annoying. Like, it actually doesn't look the worst, but it definitely could look better if it wasn't using that mechanic. But the main thing about that really is you can't take advantage of his head articulation. He can only look one way at sometimes. Oh yeah, we forgot the most important piece is taking off this and replacing it, which it's kind of nice they did that, I guess, for accuracy. You don't want the universe to explode to show that he doesn't have 2 gashats in there. But yeah, so that's why it's kind of hard to arrive at this, because this really doesn't involve the original gimmick at all. So, but it's kind of nice that this line is giving you something else to do. And so I'll say that if you really like the robot guy, I can recommend maybe picking it up, because it's nice to have the little dude there just on his own for display, and then you can also add on to this. So I think it does have a little bit more of an accessible playability than the other one, where you need to buy one actual figure to enjoy all of it. I mean, it's kind of the same system here, but it's more along the lines of the smaller sets from like Gaim and stuff like that. And also, if you just want the robot guy, you can get that and enjoy just having the robot guy. So yeah, I'll say that it's not the greatest thing ever. I definitely have problems with its combined mode, but it's a solid little thing as a robot guy, and probably has some better avenues compared to the original gimmick, if that makes any sense. I'm like in a weird argument in my head right now. But anyway, that's about it. Until next time, make sure you get the Crazy Podcast at writersrangerambles.com, and of course, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Till next time, Dawson Writer, signing out.